Welcome back to Rock Stardust. Today we're looking at the top Jimmys. Alright, so we've covered off the top mix. Now we're doing the top Jimmys. And the name Jimmy is, famously endeared to the guitar and rock and roll. It's the ultimate name, let's face it, right? So this is my top 5 Jimmys of all time. And these are my personal favorites, all right? So you'll probably have your own ideas and variations of order on who you think you can add. Please do add that into the comment section. Do like and subscribe if you enjoy this, and love to have you in the community, and hit the like button. Here we go. So let's kick it off with James Burton, who finger licking goodness, man. Like on the telly. An absolute legend on the guitar, obviously from that country rock, rockabilly background, but he influenced a generation of rock guitarists as well, including Keith Richards, who inducted him into the Hall of Fame. Just one of those great guitar players, that really caught the imagination of so many with his take on the guitar, and played with everyone from Ricky Nelson, Elvis Presley, right through to Elvis Costello, people like that. So, there's a huge list of artists he's performed with, highly regarded. I think Rolling Stone rated him as in the top 25 guitarists of all time. So that is James Burton. Next up, I've got Jimmy McCulloch. He famously played with Paul McCartney and Wings in the 1970s. He did some great work there. A real young, precocious talent, look, stuff like Junior's Farm, brilliant solo there, so melodic, could really play this kid. And then as he developed, that the famous, the Wings Over America tour album, the triple album, there's some great playing on there, and the tone of that Gibson is awesome. Gibson SG from memory. And like his version of Maybe I'm Amazed is just scintillating. Some other favorites, would be Medicine Jar, and all throughout that album, just great sound. And another guy that was taken way too young, supposedly drug overdose. So he did a lot of stuff. Thunderclap Newman when he was younger, he was a teenager, and he also did some bits and pieces later, even involved with Wild Horses with Brian Robertson. Okay, so that's Jimmy McCulloch. My next Jimmy I've got here is James Honeyman Scott. So James, but known as Jim. An absolute brilliant guitar player. Was taken way too young. He did so many amazing songs and performances, arrangements, solos, clever chordal work, great sound. Took Chrissie Hynde's songs and made them into something really special, just with his pure genius. So the first Pretenders album and the second Pretenders album are full of gems, absolutely insane. Tattooed Love Boys, that's really cool. Mystery Achievement, he absolutely branches out on that. It's phenomenal playing. And then, there's so many you can talk about, but, I love The Adulteress. I love Day After Day. He does, it's almost Pagey, like I call him the Jimmy Page of New Wave. Just those guitar parts and the imagination. Yeah, he could play anything, really. The solo to Kid is astonishing. Big influence. He influenced so many players too, and you can hear so much of it in Johnny Marr's playing. And he, talks about James Honeyman Scott as one of his key influences, but he's right across so many players that came after, and definitely one of my personal favorite players, James Honeyman Scott. Up next, I've got Jimi Hendrix. I know some people are going to go, whoa, how can you not have him at number 1? I really love Jimi Hendrix and inspired by him when I was learning guitar. you know, at the end of the day, it's just a personal preference thing here with 2 and 1. But what can you say about him? He was the originator. He's probably the most famous guitar player ever. And what he achieved was remarkable. It was like from outer space. And I particularly love, you know, his take on All Along the Watchtower, just the structure of that playing. And I particularly dig his live rendition of Machine Gun. That is astonishing. Check that out. Obviously does Red House. Little Wing's brilliant as well. I mean, what can you say about Jimi Hendrix? Absolute legend. Another one that left us way too soon as well. For number one, you guessed it, Jimmy Page. Why not, eh? I mean, Led Zeppelin was so important to me. He's the main driver for me learning guitar. It really inspired me. And the guy could do it all. He was brave in his creativity. He'd take risks. He could play all styles. He gelled those together. There was something really enigmatic about his playing as well. He could be absolutely brilliant. And you can get that from a lot of those live renditions, especially on Song Remains the Same and stuff like that. Just a phenomenal talent. And, you know, a big influence on so many across the rock world. Led Zeppelin were the biggest deal in the 1970s. And then you've got Jimmy Page, the magical Jimmy Page. Tracks, I don't know where to start. Since I've Been Loving You, that's just brilliant. Inspired, you know, the full version of, you know, Dazed and Confused. It's just a journey. He just takes you on, and never really runs out of ideas. He can keep it melodic, which is quite remarkable. The greatest solo for me that he ever performed was No Quarter Live on Song Remains the Same. That is just incredible, inspired, brilliant, you know. So for all those people that, because he, you know, obviously later on with the drugs, he kind of got a bit sloppy in his playing. But go back to that and just think, okay, there's nothing, that is just pure genius, you know. And you know, and I love the Stairway live version as well. Again, another great solo. The recorded version's great. This just takes it to another dimension with his playing. And you can see the guy, when you're watching him play, how inspired he was. It's almost coming from the ether, you know, with Jimmy. So, look, yeah, great guitarist. And my favourite Led Zeppelin track, and one of my absolute favourite performances from him, is Achilles' Last Stand. I think that is just mind-blowing. So there you have it. Those are my top 5 Jimmys, and I hope you enjoyed this today. Please add in the comment section your favourites and what you know, your list and some of your favourite Jimmys. And do like and subscribe. I really appreciate that. So have a great week. We'll catch you next time. Rock on.